Hello, my name is Professor Sandra Walklate. I'm currently Eleanor Rathbone Chair of Sociology at the University of Liverpool and conjoined Professor of Criminology at Monash University in Australia. Over the last 9 months, as we've all got used to, or perhaps not so used to, the impact of the global pandemic on our everyday lives, I've been working on an ESRC funded project with my colleague Professor Barry Godfrey and Dr. Jane Richardson, based here in the UK at the University of Liverpool. And our project has been concerned to try and establish how the criminal justice system has responded to domestic abuse during the time of the pandemic. So we're running from June 2020 right through to the end of December 2021. Our concern is on innovative practices. What have the police and the courts begun to do differently in order to maintain business as usual for women who find themselves increasingly facing difficult circumstances under stay-at-home orders and so on? As is widely recognised, home is not a safe place some of the time for a lot of women and children. So we've been looking at what kinds of different things police forces and the courts have been put into place in order to cope with the kinds of issues that might present to them in order to respond to incidents of domestic abuse. And we've got evidence from 22 different police forces, and they've been doing a lot of different things. The courts have also been prioritising domestic abuse through the criminal justice system. Despite the fact that there is a backlog building up, we've yet to see what kind of impact that backlog will be having on encouraging women to stay the course with their cases if that's the route they've chosen to go down in relation to domestic abuse. Interestingly, lots of those practices have involved a greater use of the digital world, a greater use of online platforms for communicating with people, and also a way of which responding nimbly and quickly to putting things in place that one respondent said to us a while back. Before the pandemic, we would have taken 6 months to evaluate whether this was going to work or not. Now we just do it. Of course, in terms of building a fairer society and building better and better informed responses to women living with domestic abuse, the question will be how many of these practices actually stand the test of time. In other words, what will practitioners stay with and keep on board, and what might they go back to once we return to some sense of normalcy. If you want to look at our work, there is actually a paper due out in the Journal of Adult Protection, which is an Emerald journal, quite soon. But also, if you Google us, School of Law and Social Justice, the Shadow Pandemic, you'll find our webpage and you'll find lots of working papers and various other sorts of documents that would be of interest to anyone wanting to look at how the pandemic has had an effect and will continue to have effect on people's everyday lives. I hope you find it interesting. Thank you.